Hi guys, Penny Rose Journals, how you doing? Well, I am going to paint some cookbook pages with some house paint today. Not the most scintillating thing you've ever seen and not the most complex thing you've ever seen, but it's something I do from time to time, and I just happen to fancy doing some today, and here we are. Now, I've had this tin of paint forever. It clearly has not been stored particularly well. It is very thick. I could just about use this stuff as modelling paste at this point, but it is still paint and it still will cover my pages. But yeah, super thick. It's like thick custard or something. Doesn't smell too good either, just quietly, but anyway, beside the point. It is just water-based paint, acrylic. So yeah, everything cleans up with soap and water, so no problems there. I am just going to slap it on one side, dry it by hanging it on a little rack that I have actually got on the other end of my camera arm, so there may be the odd bit of shaking here and there, you'll excuse that. And yeah, we'll get a few painted, and then we might come back afterwards when they're dry and painted on both sides and just try out a few things on them, because although I do this, I've never really tried to use other mediums on top of them. So I thought I might just try a few bits and pieces, and maybe if you guys are interested and there's something you would like me to try, you could suggest it and I'll give it a go, because I have a whole cookbook to paint. So yeah, if I happen to have the supply that you're looking for, then I will certainly try it out for you and let you know whether it works on a painted page. So yeah, let me know in the comments if there's anything else you would like to see. I'll pull out a few things at the end and we'll try them, and yeah, we'll go from there. Alright guys, yes, this is it. I have just about finished painting this one side of a page, and I am going to hang it up and start on the next one, and that is just going to go on until I run out of pegs to hang them on. So I won't make you watch the whole thing. I will speed up it a bit so that you can, I don't know, watch a few for whatever reason. And then we'll just move on to trying out different things on top. I think I neglected to mention that this paint is also chunky. There is big chunks of dried bits in it, which is really quite annoying to pick out with my brush as I go. I don't think we've really hit any yet, but yeah, that was a bit of a drama. Yeah, probably better to take care of your tins of paint and like seal them properly, but you know, it is what it is. And you know I'm not going to throw it out, I'm just going to keep using it. Okay, that's more than enough of watching paint be put down on cookbook pages. So I did both sides. These ended up really, really heavy, just so you know. They're quite hefty pages. So anyway, what I'm going to try first is some light rub-ons. Now these are super old. They were gifted to me by the lovely Bonnie. And they sort of work... because they're really old, they tend not to work properly. So I didn't really hold out much hope of this working at all, but I thought, well, I've got them, let's try them on this, you know, very different surface. So I gave them a go, and I tell you what, it's the best thing that they've ever worked on. They work almost perfectly on this surface. Which was an enormous surprise to me. So I get carried away and put them everywhere, of course. But I am literally just trying to use them up because, you know, they have no real purpose. So, yeah, I was having a lot of fun, so I put them all over the place. So thank you, Bonnie. They're getting used. So yeah, rub-ons was the first thing I decided to try. I don't own any actual sort of like craft rub-ons, but one assumes they work in a similar fashion. So yeah, if you do happen to have a little collection of them, and I know a lot of people do, yeah, they work beautifully on the painted paper, you know, house painted paper, if you like. So yeah, I do suggest if you're going to do this, pull them out, give it a go. You'll be surprised at how well it works. As you can see, I wasn't going for perfection here. I never expected these to work in the first place, so perfection was the last thing from my mind. But yeah, if one sort of tore or didn't work in one particular spot, I would use it in the next spot. So yeah, fragments of letters were just as good as letters as far as I was concerned. So yeah, like I say, I really enjoyed this process. So yeah, there's ends up being quite a few letters randomly all over this page, but yeah, it's gonna look interesting when it's done. Okay, now I decided to move on to stamping with like stays on ink. I've got an acrylic stamp block here somewhere, and just some floral stamps. I'm just going to see how the stamp or how the ink works out on the painted surface. So as you can see, pretty damn well. So again, an experiment that was quite fruitful, had great results. So yeah, definitely something I would also recommend is stamping with permanent ink. I'm not so sure how you would go with something like distress ink that's never really gonna set. It might smear, it might if you use other wet mediums on it or happen to have wet hands, you might smear it, because in the end of the day, this is sort of a plasticky surface, if you want to call it that. So yeah, I'm not sure whether you would be alright with a non-permanent ink, but the Stays On definitely did the job, and I think this looks quite cute. It's quite an effective sort of border for the bottom of a page, or if you didn't have just flower stamps on hand, you could make a border around the whole page or whatever you liked. So yeah, definitely try this one. Okay, and next I decided to try paint pens. These are just Posca paint pens. Again, I'm not looking for amazing art here. I just wanted to see if they would work. So I just draw myself a bit of a squiggly border with a few colours, and yeah, they work perfectly fine. They do take a moment to dry, so you don't want to rub your hand through them, and yeah, just note if you are sort of squishing the tips down to get some ink out, they will pour ink out everywhere, and it does make a blob, but that's the same on whatever surface you use them on. So yeah, I just was fooling around with them and making patterns in the corners, and like I say, I made that squiggly border. So yeah, not exactly great art, but it proved that they work nicely on this surface. So yes, you could make great art if you were that way inclined. Alright, next experiment is permanent markers. Didn't think I would have any issues with these, and I don't. They work perfectly fine as well. I'm not really excited about what I do with them, but they do work okay. So yeah, there's another thing you can be using on this surface if you wish. It'd be better if I did it pretty much, well, on camera, but you know, it is what it is. The point is, they work on this surface, and yes, I would certainly suggest you give them a go if you are that way inclined. Okay, next thing I want to try is the Stabilo Oil Pencil. It's that one that is activated by water. I really love the way this went on dry, to be honest with you. It looks great wet too, but I just love the way it looked when it went on dry. It was, it caught on all the ridges of the paint from the paintbrush, and it just really looked good to me. I don't know, I really liked it. But anyway, I do wet it to see what it does, and it works perfectly fine on this surface as well. So yep, again, another successful experiment. I would suggest, if you have one of those pencils, that this is a good way to use up painted paper. It makes a lovely nice dark border, and yeah, activates perfectly well. Given how well this went on dry, I would like to try coloured pencils on this surface as well. I don't actually have any. Maybe next time I'm in the shops I'll look around for a cheap packet, so we can give that a go. But yeah, if there's anything else you would like me to try, let me know and I can do another video and yeah, give you some idea how it works. So anyway guys, I hope this has been useful. I've enjoyed having you here, as I always do. I've actually really enjoyed this process, so expect to see more painted paper in the future. Alright guys, lovely to see you again, and I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.